Hi, neighbor. Welcome back to our show. My name is Ryan Perrone.
And I'm Alana Jones. We're so excited for this week's episode.
This week, I had the opportunity to attend a local music event called Tiki Time. Also, Ariela Allen sat down with the future president and vice president of our student government.
And our own Lea Johnson visited the diversity celebration on campus, as well as a produced short story about App State and the town of Boone. Join us as we say,
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor. Alana Jones here, and today I'm with...
No, you already Noah, or Noah with 2 H's from In the Fest.
13 DG.
D.
So how long have you been doing this?
I've been booking shows for the group I was in since 2014. But the first festival I did was maybe 10 months ago in the summer, in July 26, I don't know, something like that, for summer in the Carolinas. Then we did Halloween in the Carolinas, winter in the Carolinas. We just did a Greensboro event 2 weeks ago, and then now we're doing this. And then 2 weeks after this, we'll be back in Raleigh at Lincoln Theater for spring in the Carolinas.
So how long have you professionally been doing this? Because there's when you're tinkering around, and then when did you start producing your own music?
I started releasing music when I was 12. My music sucked back then, but I was determined and kept going. I'm 17 now, and I just haven't given up. This has been everything. It's my whole passion, never giving up.
That's great. I love that drive that you have, that you're going to hit obstacles in the road, bumps in the road, but you'll learn from those bumps, and I'm sure you'll make amazing music in the future. So if someone can't come out here to listen to you in concert, is there another way that we can listen to your own music?
Yes, my music is on all platforms. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, whatever you listen to music on. 13 DGE or DGE on all platforms. 13 is just kind of like an alter ego thing I do. I have 13 and then I have DGE, so I sometimes put the name together. My Instagram is 13DGE, Twitter 13DGE, YouTube. It's all pretty much the same.
When I'm staring at a clock, time passing my mental block. When it's deep, you have to mock. I close my door, wait for the knock. Yeah, I don't wanna worry about the past, baby girl.
So how did you get into the music world? What made you start?
Mostly the band that I'm in, Over Easy. I got asked by one of the band members to join in and be their lead guitarist, and that's kind of how I got pushed into the Boone music scene.
Yeah, so you said you were the lead guitarist. Have you always been playing guitar?
Yeah, I've been playing guitar for I think 10 years now, so a good amount of time.
Yeah. So what type of music do you guys do? Do you stick to a certain genre, or do you kind of broad?
We usually do grunge, but today at Tiki Fest, I'm performing a rap and R&B set.
Do you have an Instagram page or a Twitter account or something that people can come out and follow you at?
Oh yeah, 100%. My handle is DMAC2201. That's where I mostly post a lot of my promotional stuff and what I'm going to be doing, recording, and so on and so forth.
That's awesome. Great. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. You guys make sure to check out our Instagram page.
Especially between the GM board, sitting in the house all alone with no new text notifications on my phone, or just say hi to pieces with no hello sometimes.
Today I'm here with Ted, and he is one of the fathers of one of the performers here. So I wanted to ask you, for your son, did he show any, as a kid, any interest in the music, and that helped further him into this?
Yes, he loves music, has always loved music, in diapers, playing the guitar, singing at the top of his lung. Not the best, but he's gotten so much better. Even when he was 5 or 6, he would just throw something together, just hit it right on key, and we blew his mother and I away. But we never thought he was going to amount to anything. And then when he was 12, he decided, this is what I want to do. It's his passion, and he's just been taking steps he's 17 now, just turned, and the last 3 years, the growth he's made in his music has just been amazing. We've been blown away by it. So God's given him ability, and he's using it. It's his passion. So
that's great. And do you usually come out to all of his concerts to kind of drive him places or show your support?
I can say 100% because this is his very first one in public. So he is full of adrenaline, psyched, and so am I. I'm a nervous dad, so he did well in his sound check. I think he's going to knock it out of the park. He got a cold 2 days ago, which is a bummer, but he's going to push through, and he'll knock it out anyway. So.
Time that you guys have come here in Boone. What made you come here? Was there a certain reason you chose the town of Boone?
Oh yeah, I mean we're just trying to, we started in Raleigh, like Durham, RDU Triangle area, just trying to expand and plant the seeds, all over North Carolina. Was able through a friend to meet Draba. Found out that, he was doing kind of similar stuff to what we were doing down there up here. And he just kind of, reached his hand out and extended the olive branch to give us the opportunity to come up here and do this and get our feet wet. So, first time out here, definitely going to come back soon and excited to see, what it's going to turn out to be.
After this short break, we're going to check in with Lea and see how the diversity celebration went. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go!
To a place where you can grow.
A place to be heard.
And take a closer look.
A place where you can crush it.
And push yourself.
A place to find your voice.
This place rocks. And rolls.
A place where you can get out.
A place you'll never forget.
So where is this place? Let me show you.
Now let's all see the different ways that we can celebrate diversity.
Hi neighbor, I'm Lea Johnson and I am here today with Lamont and he is
Director of Intercultural Student Affairs and Chair of the Diversity Celebration Planning Committee.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. How does the Diversity Committee and the Multicultural Center kind of impact the students here that we have today?
So, celebrating diversity is a huge part of what we've been doing now for 21 years. This is the 21st annual celebration that we've hosted. And it's really important to our campus because it allows us to bring awareness, understanding to the various groups and populations that are part of our campus. At the same time, helping us to understand one another and learn across various cultures. So this particular year, we're focusing on storytelling. So we have had dance, storytelling through dance. We had Dr. Ray Christian that came yesterday that was really talking about storytelling. He's a award-winning storyteller. We have Dr. John Little that will be here today and his film and talking about storytelling through film. So, it's a way of coming to understanding, a way of bringing light to populations that can be unnoticed, invisible, but bringing light and highlighting their contributions to our campus.
Thank you. That's awesome. For the Multicultural Center, how you guys provide a safe space for students. How do students come in and get involved for that? Are you guys always open in this area for people to just walk right in?
Yes, absolutely. So we're here in the Multicultural Center right now, and this is a space for students, and it's for all students. It's a misconception that it's just for students of color or students from diverse backgrounds, but it really is a space for everyone. And the center is open on a daily basis. It's a space where we have meetings, we host events. Folks just come out, hang out. Cascades gets a little full and, spill over here, bring your sandwich, your drink, have a good time with some friends. And then there are the conversations, the dialogue that happens here that you wouldn't get maybe in other spaces.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity for people to reach out and meet multiple different kinds of people that they might not even meet in the classes that they are in right now. For students that would like to get involved in becoming a part of any kind of events that you guys host, how could they get involved with this event?
Okay, so definitely check out our website. You can go to App State's website, appstate.edu, and search for Diversity Celebration. But then also you can visit our Intercultural Student Affairs, is the umbrella office that oversees the Multicultural Center, where we are right now, the Women's Center, which is right next door to us, and then the Henderson Springs LGBT Plus Center. So those are all spaces. Each one of them has their own Instagram accounts. So feel free to follow us on social media. And then just drop by. We have our boards out front. We're often tabling and have various things going on. As we're coming into the end of the year, we'll have a number of different celebrations. Pride Week is coming up in another couple of weeks. We have a queer prom that's going to be going on, as well as we have lavender graduation. We have other graduation ceremonies and things. So a lot of great stuff happening coming into the end of the year. Check us out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. So today I'm here with Denver, a volunteer at the Henderson Center here at App State Community. Would you tell us a little bit about what your center specifically does to help provide a safe space for students?
Sure. Our center has a lot of resources for people like health-wise. For example, we're having an HIV and AIDS testing event by the end of the semester. I'm not sure if it's this week or next week. We offer therapy resources for trans, like gender confirming therapy and stuff. We partner with Planned Parenthood to help people get access to safe sex. We work with the Condom Fairy and the Women's Center to provide condoms, lube, and menstrual products. And we also just act as a fun place to hang out. Like, I go in there a lot in between classes, and we have snacks there, so like you can grab food and chill. We have like no sexually explicit talk time from 12 to 3 just for people who like that makes them feel unsafe or triggered. So we just act as a safe, fun space, like minimal stress.
That's awesome. Providing that safe space is amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was nice talking to you. Nice talking to you too. I'm here with
Allie
and
Kiana.
And Allie, tell us a little bit about iBack App and what you guys do here at App State.
Yeah, great question. Well, iBack App is a fundraising campaign that we do annually every spring, and it's really just to help raise money and awareness for experiential learning, for scholarships, and for different programs on campus that need some help.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you are a part of the diversity celebration today. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So this year is actually our diversity and inclusions department's first year in celebrating iBack App with us. So we're raising money specifically for them. So it goes to like the Daisy LGBTQ fund for our students on campus, also like organizations and just like activities for diversity and inclusion on campus. So basically it goes to whatever area needs it the most. And so all those funds are just really important for like all our underrepresented students on campus.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate that because that's just a huge support for any kind of center or groups around here that need that kind of support. If students would like to get involved in the iBack App initiative or the diversity culture, how could they get involved with that?
Yeah, so you can actually go to ibackapp.appstate.edu to make a donation. And this happens every spring, so if you don't get the chance this year, you can always do it next year.
Awesome. And do you have anything else you would like to say?
You can also go to diversity.appstate.edu to get more specific stuff on diversity and inclusion.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking with us today. Yeah. We had a great time today at the diversity celebration, getting to talk to everybody that works at these different organizations. If you are interested in being a part of any of these organizations, you can feel free to check out the links below or just walk right in and say hello. Bye, neighbor.
Coming up, our own Ariela Allen sits down with the future president and vice president of our student government.
Hi, my name is Melissa Weddle, and I'm Department Chair of Recreation Management and Physical Education at Appalachian State University. We offer 2 degree-granting programs, one in Recreation Management with a focus in outdoor experiential education, Recreation and Park Management, and Commercial Recreation and Tourism. Our second degree granting program in Health, Physical Education, and Coaching offers teacher certification for public schools in health and physical education. You can get a minor or certificate in coaching. We are the front porch to the Beaver College of Health Science, where our focus is on quality of life, wellness, and physical activity. We're located in the beautiful mountains of Boone, North Carolina. So come join us, check out our website, or take a class.
Hi neighbor, my name is Ariela Allen, and here with me today are the future President and Vice President of Appalachian State Student Government Association. Following last week's interview with SGA's current leadership, incoming President Houston Brown and incoming Vice President Alejandro Barreto join me today to discuss the importance of public leaders serving their community, advocacy, and the ambitions of their administration. So let's just go ahead and kick things off with an intro question. What about serving our community, both on campus and off campus, motivated you to run for your respective offices?
Well, you know, on campus, I think what really motivated me the most was the type of communication that I had with clubs and organizations that were looking for a leader who could really defend and speak to them on a stage, not only on campus, but off campus. Which goes to show that students are listening, faculty are listening, staff are listening, and they're aware of the type of leadership that they have on and off campus.
And you, Alejandro?
Yeah, it's like I was saying, I was speaking to many different organizations, and I see that they have issues that need to be addressed, and we want to be the people to address them. We want to make sure that they're not like out in the dark and just unable to get the help they need.
And I feel like with addressing all these issues, a big point that'll come up during your term is going to be advocacy. So how do you define advocacy in respect to SGA?
That's a great question. When you think about an advocate, it's a person or a resource that will always be speaking or doing something on one's behalf. And that's what this administration is genuinely about. It's not about trying to put yourself in another person's place or position. It's listening and understanding, and then finding the resources to help better said individual and or group.
Yeah, we want to be the voice of the students. We want to be we want to be like the focal point of what they use to shout out to everything that this is what we need to have happen. And we want the students to understand that. And if we can get that across, I think we will be on a great stop. We'll be setting a great foundation for the rest of our term.
And I feel like really focusing on community and people is, like you're saying, essential to having a very strong administration that feels not only connected to its student body, but in which the student body feels connected to it as well as representatives, since you both are in executive positions. So continuing this train of thought with community, how does your slogan of community-driven and people-oriented reflect itself in the pillars of your administration? And when answering this question, go ahead and remind us of what those pillars are as well.
Absolutely. It's imperative that everyone understands that you cannot have a community without the individuals. And individuality is the most important part of a community-driven. That's people-oriented. You can't have one without the other. You know, financial literacy, mental and physical health and wellness, all these key aspects to include sustainability are focal points of this university. People come to Appalachian State because of our sustainability, because of the environment that we have, an environment where one feels like they're wanted, where they can come back to in 15 years and say, yeah, they're central. I remember eating there that one time and decided to go elsewhere. You know, it's funny jokes like that, and it's not only a camaraderie, but it's a sense of legacy, and it's a legacy of being a mountaineer. I think I worded that well.
Yeah, I really could not say that any better, honestly. We just want the students to understand that we're here for them, and that these are the things that we want to address.
So continuing off of this train of thought of individuality, for groups on campus who might not be as represented in student government or even in upper leadership through administration or in their respective organizations, what are some initiatives or what are some thoughts you have about, I guess, promoting their individuality for all of these different marginalized groups we have on campus and reflecting that individuality in your administration?
Make us uncomfortable and educate us throughout the entire process. I kid you not, I was in the military prior to coming to Appalachian State University, and pronouns were not that relevant to us. We called each other by our last names. hey Mike, how you doing? Hey Joe, how you doing? Houston, Brown, hey, come over here. Let's get to work. But understanding that you want people to not only feel comfortable, but know that they are comfortable is so crucial. It's so crucial. I would really encourage everyone to say, I don't see representation. I don't see myself in SGA. I want to go talk to them about how they can actually represent me, educate us, invite us out. And we can also do a better job at reaching out to students, clubs, and organizations and saying, we don't know too much about you, and that's our fault, that's our shortcomings. Let's partner, let's do something.
Right, and while exploring identities and promoting individuality with the external community outside of SGA is important, what are some strategies you have implemented to promote that same welcoming environment within SGA internally? Since I think, as most of us know, the efficiency of your organization will really contribute to having your organization help others in the long run.
Well, we're already like reaching out to every organization, literally personally. Q goes to actual meetings. I go to personal meetings. We go out to the town council of Boone to try and help with them. I've met students who either aren't even in SGA, but they're already doing wonderful things. I met students even at the town council of Boone's, the meetings of the town council, and they're out there already doing, and I'm just trying to get them roped in, to get them all kind of working together so that we can all kind of be a unified force moving forward.
Right, and again with the external focus, but you have experience in SGA, so how do you plan on building on the past administration strategies to internally, mending a lot of relationships within SGA and keeping that strong relationship within Senate and the executive branch of cabinet healthy?
Open, honest lines of communication. We have an open door policy. We were just conducting interviews for cabinet positions, and what I told everyone who I was interviewing, I want you to be able to tell me when I'm wrong, and I want you to feel comfortable doing so. And speaking with Senate leadership, I told them the exact same thing. And anybody who's in SGA, in my opinion, is a leader. I want anyone to feel comfortable walking up to me and saying, Houston, this is not right, and I'm going to tell you what we need to do to fix it. And I'm going to be receptive and open to that. I'm not going to shut anyone down or put them in a corner.
Yeah, and I think we'll see that open communication, or the foundations built with the previous administration, from the sound of it, continue through your administration. And I look forward to speaking with you again in the future on these different relationships. And before we thank each other for coming onto the show and having this constructive conversation, what is one word or one phrase in which SGA really sticks out in your mind? How would you define SGA?
I'm glad you asked that. I have one word, and it's hopeful. We're always hopeful that students, that our peers will come to us, but we're also hopeful that the university, the administration will be receptive to what we have to hear. Or is hopeful that the housing situation in Boone or the parking situation in Boone will be better than it was yesterday.
That's definitely a hope all of us have. And you, Alejandro?
I think the word that I could best describe it would be pride. And not that the SGA is like the pride of the students, but that we take pride in our students.
And I think those two words, pride and hopefulness, will definitely, from our past conversation, be reflected in the actions of this administration. And we all look forward, as the student body, to seeing where they take us. So thank you both so much, Houston Alejandro, or should I really say President Brown and Vice President Barreto, for coming onto the show today. Discussing advocacy, internal relations, and the other topics about just really serving your community were such a great conversation for our viewers, and by default the rest of our high country community, to understand where this administration is planning on taking App student government and its student body in the future. So to all of our viewers out there, if you're looking to stay updated about the incoming administration, feel free to follow them at BrownBarreto2022 on Instagram, as well as following at App State SGA. Until next time, bye neighbor.
What brings us to mountains? Is it the possibilities that await us at the top? Are we looking forward to how the challenge will mold us, transform us? Maybe the mountain is inside all of us. After all, we are mountaineers. Appalachian State University.
Now, let's go back to Lea to talk about App State and the local Boone community.
A 30-minute wait at the restaurant just from the overcrowdedness alone, and then also a 10 to 15-minute drive just to get there.
I don't know if I have any feelings of anger. It's more like disappointment.
It's a very overpopulated town, so there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of pedestrians, and people drive very quickly and all that stuff.
The issue of homelessness and housing insecurity did not match the size of our town. We have far more people facing issues of housing insecurity than we should have.
The traffic, definitely, I find ways to get around it. I just know where to, I'm a part of the town of Boone, this employee staff, and I try to drive or take the bus as much as I can and stay on the back roads to where I want to go.
The parking situation, which we all know that needs to be fixed a little bit, and I just think that there could be a few more parking lots available. I know that the area is tight and we don't have much room to do that, but I feel like that we could definitely work on that.
My standpoint, both as a faculty member and as a citizen of the county and the community, is I think it's not only ill-conceived and ill thought out, it borders on the unethical and the immoral. That the school continues to emphasize growth and expansion.
I think the tourism for the town of Boone it's really hard to say if that's a good or bad thing, because obviously there are a lot of small businesses in town that really benefit from the tourism. But then there's obviously locals that have to deal with the excessive traffic and overcrowdedness on top of the insane student population that we have here.
I was told right away by new fellow faculty members that if there's a football game, don't even come to town, right? Just don't even bother. But those kinds of traffic snarls have gotten worse just sort of when the town is full, when both students and community members are here during the school year, and the county population doubles. So, I mean, right now there are more students than there are town members, not by much, but there are.
So I think it's a failure on both halves. I think App State has just as much blame as the town of Boone in this situation. While I understand that they don't think they will be able to provide any bigger space here, it needs to be something that they have to actually look at. Another thing is that Boone is shutting down local businesses to give more land for apartment complexes to come up. I don't know about anyone else, but I was pretty hurt when I heard Portofino's, which is over by the Beasley Media Complex, was closing down because they turned into one of my favorite bars at night.
It's actually affecting their choice of whether or not they actually want to go to App, and I've actually had a few people that I've been in touch with who were looking at an apartment, who are coming out of a dorm setting, and they're actually moving about 10 miles further outside of town, which then they'll have to run into the problem of getting a car and having to deal with gas.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to follow us on our Instagram page @WatchAppTV for updates.
Also, be sure to follow and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channel @AppTV for more student-made content. Until then, bye,
Bye, neighbor.